gorgeous people of Trademark. This is our day 4 live, and I am just loving this group. I'm having the time of my life. This is the fourth hat look of of the masterclass. Again, I got ready in my membership today, and there were 3 hats possible. This one got the most votes, so going with this one. I'm having so much fun. A first time live, this is awesome. Is there anyone that's like jumping in mid masterclass? I'm just kind of curious, like if this is the first time you're live in the masterclass so far, or if you've kind of been consistent. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Well, I'm so happy to see you and continuing to love the shares that are happening on social media and really, really loving the intentionality that's going into it. And a lot of the comments that I'm receiving from people who are, writing to me is that they've just never like they've disconnected. They never realized how much they just stopped loving social media. Like all of a sudden this masterclass is running and they're loving social media again. They're having fun. They feel like they feel excited, they feel happy, they like it, it's light, it's fun, it's fluffy. Like that's really great news because I do think it gets so serious that we lose the magic. And it's like the whole point was entrepreneurship so that we would love our life, not so we could exchange our boss for an algorithm. And whoever was rude to us at the side office for a bunch of haters on the internet, like, what's the point? Stay at your job. Like, we don't do this just to be confined and restricted and feel like we can't do what we want to do. Like, that's not the point. The point is self-expression and freedom and expansion and joy and liberation and your full self and discovering yourself more and having fun with it. And like that is the whole point. So last night we really started diving into the understanding that like we are real people and that we want to be igniting real people on the internet. And this comes with two parts. So in developing my trademark, there was some judgment that came up, and I actually want to bring this forward in an open discussion. So this is going to be an interesting session, but I want to bring forward first and foremost, like the question: who here saw Alpha Femme at whatever point, whether it was 2017 when it was invented or just like recently, and the minute you saw it, you clicked with it, and you were like, "This is so me," and why? Like, what was it about it that you were like, gosh, there's something about me that feels really seen in this? So, whether it was about the aesthetic, whether it was about the work, whether it was about me and the way that I am, like, just who saw it and was like, this resonates with me and I recognize myself in this. Okay. So, let me just look. So, me, your genuine power. Rabia says it felt spiritually guided. That's awesome. I clicked immediately. It was your energy, your vibe. Me, it was your energy, 100% me. The power of who you are, the aesthetic and your vibe, the faith and knowing, the conviction, a feeling, the creativity, the luxury, the authenticity, the emotional intelligence. I love that. Me. The conversation and new wave. It was the energy for me and how you delivered it. It was your confidence, your energy. It was your presence, your work, you and the way you are, the depth that you are, not speaking like everyone else, your wisdom, your solid leadership, your words, your authenticity, your genuine energy, the way you talked made me click, the way you held yourself and spoke the spiritual truths with confidence, energetics. Not usually like that. It was your aesthetic. Me and I'm not usually like that, but it was your aesthetic. Okay, that's cool. I knew it immediately because of the aesthetic. Okay, energetics, the way you talked on the first video I watched of yours. I resonated from the start. It was one line, 1 foot in gratitude, 1 foot in desire on a podcast. That's awesome. Your eloquence, more than I'm more than my business brand. Yes. Feeling of potential and equality, the power of the name. The quiet luxury was your embodied presence that pulled me in, and I desired to embody my own power and presence like that. It was your 33rd birthday post. Your words touched my heart, the glamour and the rule breaking. I heard you and I remembered me. Oof, well, VC, I love that so much. Me, the beauty, the level of packaging and the meaning. It was your vibe, the aesthetic, and that I felt like you were speaking directly to me. Your authenticity, your boldness, your storytelling. The energetics got me right off the bat. The language that I understood best, along with all your amazing style and confidence and presence. Me, you being the opposite of Tony Robbins. There you go then. Me, feeling the heart and the soul of it and witnessing the way you move through the world. The aesthetic, the style, the sexy feminine, very important. The way you spoke about you. The way a friend spoke about you, the way you stood for respect and kindness, your energy, your confidence, your presence, your vulnerability, the heart, your vibe that you embody. You say the right words that translate what I'm feeling and wanting. The way you made me remember me. Gosh, it's so awesome. Willingness to show up no matter what. The integrity of the people you attract. The God zone that introduced me to my power. The vibe. The origin story of living in your car. The joy, the mystery of life. The E3 masterclass. Something deep inside of me had forgotten, that I had forgotten was ignited when I listened to you speak with such confidence, conviction, and honesty. I saw it and I felt that it resonates because my favorite coach ever is Steph. And when I saw her mentor, I kind of felt an expansion of her power. I don't know if that makes sense. For me, it was just you. A friend recommended one of your free master classes and I loved it. I don't think I looked at your brand for years. The minute I was introduced to you and your work, I found home. You spoke to me as if you spoke to me as if you had gotten inside of me. You expressed wisdom that spoke to my soul. You put words that of what I felt inside. I felt your heart and integrity in your voice and your words. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Isabel. Always showing up. Me, but from a class. I hadn't seen your aesthetic or a brand before. A friend invited me into the God zone, and I was like, wow, this woman speaks my language. But honestly, I may not have clicked with the aesthetic at first. Okay. It didn't click immediately, but I couldn't lie. Something was positively evolving in my world every time I listened to you. So I came back and fell in love with your presence. Okay, since things are starting to kind of move into also like not clicking, I'm going to end it here and I'm going to address this. So when you look at what all the reasons that people click with me, what are you noticing? What's the biggest thing you notice from what I just read? It had a lot to do with me as a person. What else? The energetics, the aesthetic. So what are you picking up on again? Are you picking up on the fact that different people clicked with different things? So why this has become so important for me to just accept is that I think one of the biggest reasons that entrepreneurs struggle is that they're trying to figure out how to say what they do, trying to explain what they do, like in a short bio, 150 character bio. Here's who I am. How are we supposed to do that? It's like you're supposed to craft an elevator pitch and you don't even know how to explain who you are. Like, how do you explain it? It depends who. So if I were to isolate only aesthetics, some people would say, yeah, that would have been enough for me. Other people would have said, no, that actually repulsed me. If I said, oh, it's all about energetics and language, some people would say, yes, because you spoke my language. Other people would say, no, if I hadn't seen something else, I would not have come. I didn't understand the language at first. Some people would say, it's you, it's your energy. That's why. And other people would say, if it just weren't you, I like what you write, but then when I look at your face, you bug me. I don't like the way you speak. I love the way you speak. I love the way you write. I never read your posts. I love the aesthetic. I didn't even notice there was an aesthetic. So when you are like, what's going to work? The real question is like, what's going to work for who? The internet makes us believe that there's just this blanket statement of people. Like there's just a way that people who, which ones? So this has actually been such a beautiful reminder for me. Every time I really come back to like, this is about people. It's not about the algorithm. It's not about what what works. It's about a real human being that has preferences, that's able to overlook certain things when they like something enough and not able to overlook other things even though they like something so much. Like it's just people. So the culture of the internet is the culture that is causing entrepreneurs to struggle because it's not built for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are just smart enough to have jumped on the wagon of the internet. But the internet was meant to kind of mind warp people. It was meant to just get people into a distraction. Like it really just it does all kinds of weird things to people. It is built, even when you look at algorithms, social media algorithms, they are built off the greatest wounds of people being invisible, being unfollowed, being unliked. Like it keeps people addicted to the platform. You can literally live your life chasing metrics that most people have chased their entire lives, but you can do it on a screen without even needing to leave your bed. And now with AI, you don't even need to do it with you. You can create an image that you think looks better than you. You can pretend you're somewhere that you're not. You can, as long as you get likes. But people are losing their marbles on the internet. But the way the entrepreneurs work at the very core is we're like, wait a second, everyone's on this thing? Everyone all over the world is on this thing? So I could talk to anybody. Let me build my dream. This is fantastic. This is so intelligent. And then there became the mainstream because there's always the avant-garde, the trailblazers, the ones that go first, the ones who have these wild ideas and who see potential. There's always those people. And then there's the people who are like, how do we capitalize on this? And so when you think about selling to people who are on autopilot on a platform that puts people in their most like triggered subconscious mind, that's probably the easiest way to sell stuff. But the way to actually connect with real people in the world is also the internet. But then you can't forget that they're people. You can't forget that they're people. So if I look at myself, who I am as a person, I am not just a person who makes a bunch of money and who has a business. But there was a stage in my life that was my favorite thing about me because I couldn't believe it. I was like, hello, like I told you yesterday, hello, I run a six-figure business. I'm awesome. I can't believe it. I'm here and I paid for it myself. I'm free. I'm so happy. I did something great. Hello. Like it was the first thing I ever did was just be happy about what I built. But that lasted a short phase. Then I wanted to be known for other things. I wanted to be known for my story or my journey or how far I'd come and what I'd learned and the friends I'd made along the way and the people I'd helped along the way and some of the crazy stories I knew and like the places I'd traveled. Like then it stopped being that my whole identity was my business, but there was a moment that it was, and I think that that's okay. Like I think you may have a phase where you're just so amazed by what you've done that you're like, I'm this, but it doesn't last forever because eventually you're like, I'm this and something else. And I think the reason this happens is like when I was invisible, the feeling I had, I don't know if you can relate to this, but when I was invisible, the feeling I had was that I had to prove myself in order to be, in order to matter. You know, I did not even have a high school education. I was bankrupt. I'd slept in the front seat of my car. Like I felt like I was absolutely the bottom of the barrel. And so any place I walked into, my body told me you don't belong here. Like people knew who you actually are. If people don't see the power in you soon, they'll just see the worst of you. Like I had this feeling inside, like I had a short window of time for people to see me for something more than what I feared they'd see me for. So I walked into every room feeling like I had a short window to make an impression and I did my best to do that. But I always felt so stressed. No matter where I went, it was always like, do they see me or do they see my fears? Do they see me or do they see my past? Do they see what I could become or do they see what I've been? What do they see when they look at me? And so I felt like I had to lead with my strength so that people didn't discredit me. I'd lived so long with people underestimating me and saying, not very nice things that it just felt like, and then it's not that it's not very nice things, but when you want to become something and people tell you, you've got to be careful. That doesn't work for everybody. And you've got to be a certain kind of person for that to work. And I even remember I had family members when I first started being on the internet, they were like, that only works for like supermodels. I don't think they knew how much that hurt me because back then I wanted to do something big with my heart. I wanted to do something big with my mind. I knew I was good. I knew I was good invisibly. I wanted to stop hiding. I wanted to be seen. And it was like, you've got to be hot for this to work. And I'm like, so what are you saying? Like, I know it, but you can't say it. I was saying this to one of my House of Oak clients yesterday because she was talking about money and, people can't afford it. And I said, you can't say that they can't afford it. They can say it, but you can't. Like when we wake up feeling bloated in the morning, we can say, I feel so bloated today, but no one else can tell us, are you a bit bloated today? It's like, do you have a death wish? You can't say it. I can say it. So like, oh, I can say this is hard for me because I'm not a supermodel, but you can't say it's going to be hard for you because you're not a supermodel. You can't say that to me. That hurts. Only I'm allowed to be self-deprecating. Did you get the memo? So I remember just being like, gosh, I I'm not, I don't have all that. But I have this energy and I when I'm in person with people, I never fear that. No one ever tells me in person that, you shouldn't be so magnetic because you're not pretty enough. It was always like you're so magnetic. Like it was enough. I was enough in person, so why couldn't I be enough on the internet? And so I just started to decide that there were people like me on the internet that just didn't really feel like their whole life they had been, the swan, the one that got lucky because she was beautiful. Like there was so many of us. And when I just started speaking the truth and being like, look, I look the way I look and I can love me, but I can love, all the parts of me and I can be okay with it. I struggled some days. Some days I felt ugly. Some days I had a George. And I called it that. I got in trouble eventually, but like some days I felt like, ugh, but I just stopped caring about it a little bit. It's the weirdest thing. It just something bigger than me took over. And so what I want to remind you of in all of this is that there's people that are feeling what you're feeling. There's people that are feeling too old, too young, too big, too small, too speak too fast, speak too slow, not eloquent enough, have an accent. I had an accent when I first started my videos too. I had a little accent, French Canadian accent. I used to say all the time because I'm bilingual. And so English, I usually would just ping pong back and forth from French to English in my life. Like if I didn't know a word, I'd just say it in French. And then I realized my followers did not speak French. So it didn't really work for me to just switch languages. So I was like not very eloquent. I had to train my language. I learned everything. But I did it in the context of loving it. I did it in the context that it was making me better. I did it in the context that I deserved to be proud of what I was creating. And I think if I would have done it in the context of they will like me more, I never would have built what I built. From the very beginning, I had a lot of people not like me on the internet, which I understood later. Who here knows human design a little bit? If you study human design, um, I understood later on that I'm a 5 line in human design, and 5 lines have this like projection field where we can bother and we can inspire, but it's very hard to be ignored. There's like a sway, a strong sway. And so I realized like that's probably what it is. Like I just bug people more than I should, but sometimes, maybe I inspire people faster than I should. So is it worth it? Is the duality worth it? And I was like, yeah, I think the duality is worth it. So what I really started realizing is that people don't understand me at all. Like they just don't. This was my first breakthrough. It's like either they think I'm perfect, which like zero perfect. Either they think I'm the worst, which I'm absolutely not the worst. Either they think I'm just this superficial rich person, definitely not. Either they think I'm this underqualified grifter, which I'm not. Either they think I'm not. So people don't understand me. And then there's the people who just click with me. And they don't click with me because they understand me. They click with me because something about me reminds them of themselves. So the people I actually prefer the most are the ones that aren't picking me apart. Not deciding I should be there because I'm so great, and not deciding I should be there because I shouldn't be there because I'm not good enough. It's the ones that actually connect with me the way that you connect with a real person. You don't just meet a person in real life and be like, what's wrong with this person? I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. You just have a vibe. Like you just click with a person. You don't think, oh, you're not pretty enough. You can't be my friend. You don't think that. You don't think, oh, you didn't graduate high school. Oh, I'm not interested in talking to you within 2 seconds of knowing someone. Like that doesn't happen. So I just took on I just I felt like saying she's a young version of me. Some people felt like I was a younger version of them, an older version of them, a potential version of them. I reminded them of their daughter, their sister, their friend, their selves. I just reminded you of something that you love. That's what we feel about people. So I started banking on just being a real person. And it changed the way I started talking on the internet. I've shared this a few times. You may have heard me say this before, but I had never grasped the concept that a new person could find me on the internet because I was told the only people who really grow on the internet are supermodels. But what I had found is that whenever I met someone in real life and they wanted to stay connected with me, I would just say, "Do you want to do you want to stay connected? Like, here's my Instagram, here's my Facebook." And we would just stay connected. And so my belief was that all the people who watched me on the internet were people I'd met in person. I had absolutely zero belief that a stranger would ever follow me willingly on the internet. Like, why would they do that? I'm not a supermodel. But people who've seen my energy in real that I had a conversation with and who said, "Who are you? Who are you? What do you do?" And I just said, "Let's stay connected." I never answered the question, "What do you do for a living?" by the way. Never answered that question because I didn't know how to explain it. So I just said, "Let's stay connected on the internet. You'll soon find out." That's it. They'd say, "Okay." Because it's also true, same as what Ratem is saying, is like it depends who you ask. Some people say, "Oh, she's an influencer." A woman of influence, but not really an influencer. "Oh, she's a coach." Say more. She's in women's empowerment. No. Like, what is it? So come look at it, come feel about it, come decide what it does for you. And I think that this is where I started falling in love with Alpha Femme the most, is in people telling me what Alpha Femme was to them. Because what is Alpha Femme to me is what makes it amazing to me. But what Alpha Femme makes available to you is what Alpha Femme is to you. And it's the same thing like when you ask, "Who is Melanie?" Ask Kevin, he'll give you a different answer than my mom. And my mom will give you a different answer than my sister. And my sister will give you a different answer than Vanessa. And Vanessa will give you a different answer than Fred. There may be a common thread, but there'll be something different because they all love me for something that matters to them. So when we're looking at our social media presence and we're trying to put a blanket statement on people and we're like, what do people want to see? Who do we become in that? I'm now in my head about who I should be depending on what people who want to see. And the worst thing about all this is how I'm deciding all of this is based on who's liking and commenting. So I would like you to be very honest. If you see my posts on the internet, but you do not comment on them, say me. If the majority of the time that you see a post, you see it and you do not comment on it, say me. Look at this. Look, are you seeing this? Look. So you cannot decide that people that are not liking or commenting means that they don't care or that they're not thinking of buying or they're not thinking of coming to your store or your event or your thing. Like that has nothing to do with it. We're just tired of liking and commenting on everything. That's all. We can't comment on everything. It's just not possible. You have so many things that pop up on a every day. It's like you just cannot. So you've got to know that people are seeing and liking. That's just something they do when they have time. And commenting, that's just something they do when they have the time to give to you. That has nothing to do with what they received. So imagine if I base my entire company, my entire belief about myself on who is commenting. Now I'm going to ask another question. I want you to be very honest. Who here comments on my things, but you have never bought something that is like what you ever wish you could have bought yet? But you comment because you encourage me and you love me, but you haven't even yet started your journey really. Like you haven't bought anything that you really, really want yet. Look at this. So the people who are commenting sometimes comment because they're like signaling, "I'm here. I know I don't buy from you, but your work matters to me. I know I don't buy from you necessarily, but you're making an impact on my life. So can you imagine if I build my entire business based on who's commenting, but who's commenting are people who have not bought yet? And I think that the people who are not commenting are the, okay, so let's ask another question. Who here is in some of my higher spaces, like bigger spaces, but you don't comment on my stuff? Look, look. Are you seeing, do you understand what I'm saying right now? So the clients that are literally going to the link to pay are not leaving a comment all the time, sometimes never. I rarely comment and I buy the highest level offers. And other people are like, I haven't bought anything yet, but I'm commenting. So it doesn't actually mean anything. What matters is what you're putting out there into the world and who is contemplating their life based on what you're posting. You don't know how they're going to respond to that, whether they're going to respond with a comment, a like, or whether they're going to buy something. But if you control your behavior based on what people are doing, who's leading? So I decided that I was a real person and that the people I was speaking to were real people and that there was absolutely no one else in the world that could probably find me, but that the people that knew me were just getting to know me. So I wasn't positioning it like, what would they want to see? Because they were real people. How do you, when you really think about it, if I were to like narrow your audience down and bring it back down to like the woman at Starbucks that loved seeing you on your laptop and was like, you look like you're up to something. Are you building a business? And you're like, yes. And she's following you on social media. And then the woman who helped you pick your outfit for a wedding you went to, you said, I'm starting my own business. And she said, oh, that's amazing. I'd love to follow you. And you know, she's following you. And you have a person who maybe sold you your car or your house, a realtor or someone who does your hair who's like, I always love your vibe following you on social media. And you know they're growing a business or they're looking for a certain product that you have or whatever it is. If you saw real people, would you be able to say in your head, what do all these people want to read in one post? Would you be able to say, let me do one live stream that all these people want to hear? How do you do that? So even the concept of doing what we're doing for people, it doesn't even make sense to me. Because people who? Which ones? The other thing I've realized, a lot of my clients don't even follow me on social media. This means that they found me and then they kept typing my name in. I made an imprint so much that they remember my name. If they want to see something on social media, they literally go and look for me. They don't even follow me. So even your followers don't matter. I have people who follow me just to not like me. I have followers who follow me just to copy me. You think I want more of those? No. I'd rather you not follow me, buy from me when you're in the mood, and when you miss me, go look for me. But we're so in our head about followers. So what if we just started seeing people like people? Do you have an account on social media that you don't follow, but you do go and look? Whether it's like a makeup company or a restaurant in your town or a hotel or whatever, like you don't follow them, but you sometimes think and you go, look, this is what real people do. This is what real people do. But the internet will tell you, here's how you get more followers. Here's how to get more likes. I'm like, who cares? Here's how you connect with the people who would be best served by knowing you. Here's how you connect with the people that click with one or more things about you in a way that's valuable for both of you. Relevant visibility. Real people. So if you want to go viral on the internet, if you want to go viral on the internet, then what you do is you have one thing that you talk about, and you talk about it all the time. And it's just the same message. And then when you have a video go viral, you retarget it and you rejudge it and you recreate it over and over again. And when people scroll through your page, all they're seeing is nonstop the same thing over and over again. And they just get stuck in a loop of watching the same thing over and over again until they get bored and then they get out. But that gives you so many views because people are like, derp. But they don't do anything because there's nothing to really do because you've said everything over and 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 over again. Except the one thing you might do from time to time is notice how I get so many views on my things? Click here for the PDF on how I do that. And then they'll tell you, just do the same thing over and over again. And then tell people to click for a PDF on how to do that. Want to know how much money these people are making? It's not worth the time for me. I don't even, and this is why they end up going faceless. Now this is the trend. Do it with a faceless account. Don't waste any time doing this because it's not worth it. There's no money to be made. Write the content on ChatGPT, create the picture on AI, write the things over and over again, and then send people a link to a PDF that was written on AI. And you know how much money you're gonna make with that? Also not much. But you might get visibility. Where's the purpose? Where's the anything? So I don't feel threatened by that industry at all because I really believe it is separating people in the most obvious way. There's the people who have so many shared posts about strategies that they think one day I'll watch this. One day I'll go back to this. One day I'll do this. One day I have to watch that one day. You've got an entire album of of strategies that you really should watch in order to get more views. But you just keep watching new ones and you don't do anything with it. And then there's the people who actually touch you and you move within 1 second. Not because of a strategy, because they're people and they click you out of the game. But where we get stuck is we think we need to look better than we are. And that always feels inauthentic. And so Jane says, I think the question is, how do we get discovered? You don't get discovered. You get known. You did not discover me. You just saw me on the internet. This is what happens. You see a person that feels like yes, and then you just look for a little bit. I have no strategy of following or following back. I have none of that. It doesn't matter. I have an intuitive feeling sometimes. I realize, what? I'm not following you. I follow people. I have no strategy. The real strategy is the frequency of truth. So if you're going to have fun with the updates and the algorithm updates, at least be in love with it. Have it be something that you love. And so I know you think I'm magical, but you know what I really am? Free. And in a world like we live in today, that is a rare commodity. You cannot manipulate me to do what you want me to do. You cannot sway me to do what you want me to do. You cannot make me believe that I cannot succeed without something that you know. You cannot get me to do anything. The magic is not that I'm magic. The magic is that I'm free. I'm a free spirit in a world that's controlled by just about everything. And you get to be a free spirit in a world that's controlled about just about everything because you just need to remember. It's like we wake up from out of the matrix. I'm real. These people are real. This is not people on the internet. This is people on the internet. So I don't need to be discovered. It's literally one person at a time. Just one person at a time finding me will create an exponential effect. And so I believe in culture. Hallelujah. Finally, someone's real. This is what people feel when they see you and you're real and you're owning it. But when you play a little smaller because you don't have enough followers, you don't feel real. You feel like stuck in the matrix. I do not matter yet. I have not received enough validation to be a real person on the internet. Not enough people have validated my existence in order for you to validate my existence. I shall continue to create products based on what I am told will give me more people looking at me. Once sufficient amounts of people look at me on the internet, I will become a viable person in your eyes. What the freaking heck? Like, this is the problem. Who cares? You're the best kept secret. You are the person. You are the only one. No one knows you. Great. You're the dark horse. You're the underdog. You're the one. They're all going to find out. They don't know you yet. That's exciting. Remember who you are. It is not about numbers. It's about people. So here's what I want you to start really, really feeling. Your job is to awaken people. The only way to do that is to be true in a world that's not. This is one of the most amazing compliments that I ever received when I share this with you. We had a party to celebrate Alpha Femme's huge, huge milestone, and I created the most beautiful party. And I invited the woman that does my hair that I love so much to come and travel to Montreal to be there and to be available for me, for my team. Like, just, she was the glam squad. This woman is amazing, and she's got really awesome clients, and she's worked with a lot of celebrities. She's 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 in the know, and she likes to name drop. And I was just proud to bring her into my team because I know she's so good. And she did a lot of our hair. All the girls looked phenomenal. It was amazing. And after she left, she said something to me that, or when she was there, she said something to me that I said to the girls after she left. She said, "This is the most natural room I've ever seen." It did something to me to come to this event because I had never seen so many successful people that are real. Like, all of you have a real face, a real connection, a real, like, there was absolutely not one fake person in your entire team. Like, how do you find, how, she said, I understand now why Alpha Femme works because there was no, there, I have never been in a room with this much power and that much realness ever. She said to me, I can't believe the pictures. Like, when I started posting the pictures, showing the pictures, and she was like, these people are so beautiful. You're so beautiful. It's all so real. I was there. This is what it was. Do you know how rare that is? I'm behind the scenes in all these parties with celebrities and all the things. I've never felt like this. I will go to anything that you do, any party you do, I will be there. And it never really hit me that the internet has now started to seep into the real world. It's all about what it looks like. People not even talking to each other, just taking selfies alone in a corner. Because if anyone looks at you, you can't do the pouty face properly. It's awkward. You're like, you can't even smile properly when someone watches you take a selfie. You're like, don't look at me. This is weird. So everyone in their own corner where no one's looking, doing their hottest face. So what I want you to think about is this is not going to last forever, I don't think. I think it's going to crash and burn pretty fast. I don't think it will last for very long. And so you're either going to try to make it work until the whole thing crashes, or you're going to just give up on it today. And my hope is that you give up on it today. That you become known in your town, that you become known in your industry, that you become known in the rooms that you are in, that you become known with people who are inspired by you and like your vibe and like your quirkiness and like your style and like your this and like your that. They love this one little thing about you and this other one little thing about you. And you're going to feel like you in your real life. And it'll feel like you have this whole life and you're connected to the entire world in the palm of your hand instead of being completely trapped in the palm of your own hand. When you're free right now, you're different. It's literally a rebellion to be free. Isn't that wild? In a world where it looks like you actually have so many rules, as much rules as like what time of the day you should post and how long your post should be and how big the writing should be and what color it should be and what should be. And they call us creators, creatives. That's a lie. You're not a content creator if you abide by all those rules. You're basically what AI modeled itself after. Like, we want to be free, we want to be artists. This is why I love like the art of business. It's an art. We're different. We're all different. And I want to wake that up in you. So, how do we do it? You stop seeing it like you're producing content in order to get people to do something, and you start speaking the truth of what you want to say. It doesn't matter that it's not connected in your head. It is connected because it all comes from you. And you're going to have things that you're going to talk about until one day they don't feel relevant anymore. So don't wonder if they're relevant. If you feel like talking about them, talk about them. And when they stop being relevant, you'll stop talking about them. You will post about things until one day it doesn't feel right to post about them. So don't worry about it. Just post about it until one day doesn't feel right. You will refine yourself. If there's one thing I found that has been so extraordinary is the glow up from the inside out of all the clients I've worked with for an extended period of time. If you have been in my work for a while, if you've been in Alpha Femme for a while and you have watched certain of my clients who've really gone for it, and you look at who they were before and you look at them now and you're like, what the heck happened? They look different. The glow up is from the inside out. They look like they come out in 5-dimensional. I look at pictures of me from back then and I feel like I was almost like 2-dimensional. And now I feel like I come out of a screen in such a different way. Like the energy that comes out, even honestly, my skin has changed. I was talking about this when I was doing my makeup before. Like my skin shines. You'd think I'm oily, but like my skin shines. My skin shines. My eyes have more something. Like there's something that happened. There's a glow that happens when you start to say, I am here. I really believe we erase ourselves, especially as we age. Like I see a lot of women, like all the color in their lips start to go away. It's like the color fades. But I've just created a rebrand for one of my clients called Marta. If you look at my Instagram stories, you saw last night a sneak peek. I took a picture. I have a cinema in one of my houses. How braggy does that sound? I have a cinema in one of my houses. But like I literally put candles everywhere and put her brand up because we did a rebrand for her in Alpha Productions and put her up on the screen with candles everywhere. And it was like, oh my God, this woman looks like a movie star. But the glow up, if you look at the front page of her book years ago and her now, like maybe in her 40s to like her 50s, she looks 100 times more powerful and more sexy and more beautiful and more in charge in her 50s than she ever did in her 40s. But she glows from the inside out. This is what I really want for you to know. Like we can glow up at any point, but it's an inside out job. You will pale and disappear into the background if you live based on algorithms and other people being better than you and needing to prove something. But if you own yourself in a world where people who own themselves find each other, you'll see the glow in other people. They'll stand out in a room. People think that to stand out, you need to be super confident. Like you've got to be loud, you've got to be this, you've got to be that. It's like, no, you can be demure, just sitting in a corner, literally just contemplating. And people will say, there's something about that woman because it's the glow. It's the glow in your eye when you talk about what you love. It's the glow in your eye when you feel proud of who you are. It's the glow in your eye when you're happy with where you are and what you're doing, how you're feeling. And that's what makes the difference. So the real truth is that regardless of what your business is, you're going to have people want to buy from you for so many different reasons. And it would be completely unfair to discount that people buy from who they like. But the issue is that if you pretend to be something else to be liked, you become inauthentic. And number one thing real people don't like is inauthentic people. So it doesn't work to try to be liked. You've got to own who you are and know you will be by the people who find you. So the big thing becomes, where are the people? Where are they? How do I get them to find me? How do I get them to see me? What do I do? How did you find me? I really believe that once you own yourself and you stop doing what you're doing to try to get something, you bump into people on the internet. But you've got to refine your energy until you are so disconnected from getting people to see you that you are actually just existing. And I've really found the easiest way to be seen is to see people. And I want to give you an example of what that looks like. So yesterday, the draw was about people who shared based on my aesthetic. And I felt so seen by some of you, I could not message you. Like I was too excited. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so seen." And a lot of people literally said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got a voice message from you. I feel so seen." And I'm like, "But I'm messaging you because I feel seen." So the world doesn't work the way we're being told. Create more content, be more perfect, talk to the perfect person, the only person, create more, do more, be there all the time. It's not like that. It's like, can you actually see people? And it doesn't even need to be an individual thing. It's a connection. So I see you when you haven't even started a business yet, but you want to be free because I remember what that felt like. I see you. I know exactly what it feels like in my body. I could be right back there like this. I see you when you're just starting and you're like, oh gosh, this is a big room. If they, I'm not even allowed to be here. I've been there. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be at 10K months and be so proud and then enter a room with people making 100K months and be like, ah, I thought I'd be so proud of me when I got here and now I feel like a little chicken nugget. Like I remember being at 20, 30, 40K months and thinking I'm the richest person in the world and then all of a sudden meeting people who are millionaires that look like they're my age and being like, wait, am I actually not even anywhere near successful? What's happening here? I remember making six-figure months and feeling like, oh my gosh, what on earth is this? And then feeling like, oh my gosh, what if none of these people like me anymore because I'm too advanced? Maybe I shouldn't tell anybody. Like I felt all of it. So I see you because you're here and I've been there. I've been in every room. I did all the things. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, high-fiving my neighbor, going, you have a millionaire mind. Singing the songs. You have a millionaire mind. We say yes. We say yes to success. You have a millionaire mind. Oh, yes. I'm in. Tony Robbins, make a move. Yes, make a move. I did all the things. I've been in the rooms. Like I am the same. I am the same. And I have goals and dreams and wishes and wants. And I get mad at people that don't understand me and don't see me. And I wonder, how the heck are more people going to see me? Haven't I done enough to be seen? Haven't I done enough? What else do I need to do for there to be as many people that follow me as like Gabby Bernstein or something? Like, what more do I need to do? You don't need to do more. I've protected myself. I've gone in and out of my power. I've tried to go under my power to not get haters. I've tried to over-explain myself so that people don't not like me instead of just continuing doing what I've done. Listen, I've done a million things that have made me go in and out of my power, and I've still built a business that makes $1 to $3 million a month. My biggest ever month was a $7 million month. I don't run ads. I don't even have a website. All my programs happen like this on Zoom, live stream to Facebook. And although I am working on something now because I feel like 'tis time, I grew business to $100 million without ever having a website. Like people who told me you need a website. This won't work without a website. It's like $100 million later. Let me tell you that I can do whatever I like. Thank you very much, Elsie. You need to have an email list with 100,000 people on it. I don't have that. Like, you don't need anything. You need to run ads. It's not sustainable. Wanna bet? I just want to talk to people. I want real people, not people who are looking at me like, okay, pound of flesh that's successful, give me everything. It's like, hello, human. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Maybe you're my person. No. Or, yes. Like, how hard is that? You need a funnel with tripwires. You need to write things in a way that makes people say yes without thinking. It needs to be a no-brainer. And then you've got to give them this and this and this. And then if they don't say yes, then you send them 17 emails to make sure that they didn't miss your email because it's such a good offer that they must be missing your emails if you're not emailing them more. It's like, I know how to check an email when I care about something, and I know how to not check about an email when I don't care about something. How about maybe if I'm not nailing it, they just don't care. How about that for people? And doesn't that actually give me so much more responsibility? This is the other thing. Like, I have a lot of responsibility in Alpha Femme because if I don't nail it, you will not show up for another call. And I know that. And I think that's fair. I don't think I need to make you have more FOMO in your life than you already have. You've missed 3 things you care about this year because you didn't have time, and I'm going to be in your inbox making you feel like a jerk for not showing up for day 4 of my masterclass. Like, how about I nail it enough that you want to show up? And if I nail it and you show up, then I deserve you to be there. Isn't that a fair assessment in business? And so, is it what everyone wants to hear? No, it's not. But then there's a whole world that would agree, and that whole world is not actually served right now. And that's our world. Real people who are looking for real people who do real work and who care and who are not just trying to just make everything easy. They're actually looking to do something really good. So, what I really want to help you do is to create great work, great expression. And the measurement of great not being it hits certain external measurements. It's more like it hits the internal measurements. When you're looking at what you're doing, you're like, this is me. Not this should be good. This is good. People should like it. I like it. I've been using social media like a diary since I started using social media because every day I look at my Facebook memories and I look and I see where I was 1 year ago today. And I repost some of my old posts and I get inspired by where I was and I tell stories about the past and it reminds me of certain things. Like, I'm not here to get you to do something. I'm here to do my life's work. And if I'm the right person for you, I'd like you to choose me for the real reasons that real people choose to work with real people. That's the only way I know when I'm actually serving you later that you're going to show up. So many people sign up for masterclasses, they don't even come. In the same way they save here are the 7 steps to becoming a millionaire overnight in their Instagram stuff and they never read it. I don't want that. I want the people who are like, oh, I want to be there. Melanie's live. Melanie is live. Like, I matter. I'm a person. You matter. You're a person. This is your life. You're taking time on a Saturday morning to be here with me. That matters. I'm here, and when I'm done here, I'm going to drive to my parents' house and go hang out with my brother and sister and their kids. And I might show up a little late because they show up early with the kids, but I'll have been with you all morning. Doesn't that matter? Doesn't that count for something in my own life? Like, what if I don't care about that? I don't care about that. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. Why are we doing any of this then? So, what I hope I'm really hammering home for you in this moment is that you can build a huge company and still have your heart be there in the game. You can become known and not do any of the things they've said you need to do. But for that, you have to start believing that you can trust yourself, that your way counts for something, and that you will get better with time. You will refine with time. So I'm going to ask another question here because this is just as important as the first one I asked. Who here looked at me the first time? When you found me, the first reaction was, I don't think so. And why? So what was it? that you were like, I don't, this is not it for me? What's the reason? So look, there's a lot of people that are here that are listening to me. Too luxurious. The jet, fuel the jet. I was intimidated. Too fancy. Your age. I thought you were too far from me. It looked too high end. There's too much champagne. It was too sophisticated. At a first glance, I didn't know if you had the depth, the dark colors, so the aesthetic itself. It felt distant, out of my league, too fancy. Just from looking at your profile many years ago, I didn't resonate with the champagne, but then I heard you speak and I could feel your heart and soul. I'm not luxury. I wondered if you could be luxury and down to earth. You were too polished. The waitlist masterclass felt like I didn't learn anything tangible. So came to a masterclass, got absolutely nothing. Bought into a year-long program with you and didn't even know what I was doing or what to do with it and what it was. If it wasn't for me, or if it wasn't for my mentor who I work with, who told me about you and really recommended you, I wouldn't have clicked by just the image. So someone had to give you a context because me, just like this, you would have been no. Felt like you were too superficial. It took me a year to understand your depth. You looked like you were from another galaxy. I didn't feel like I belonged. I judged you, but I felt called to join your masterclass, and I was blown away by how much I resonated to your story, your confidence, too polished. Like, is it even real? I didn't understand at first what you were offering. I thought you were like a spiritual priestess. If it wasn't, oh, this one I already saw. I wasn't ready, feeling not at the level to join your course. So think of this. A lot of you are thinking to yourselves, oh, the way I am going to succeed, like Alpha Femme, is I have to have the Alpha Femme level aesthetic. And the number one reason people did not click with me was the aesthetic. So if you leave this masterclass thinking, oh, I have to have a luxury brand that looks luxury, that's the number one reason people that are here did not like me. So don't just go do that. We need more context about that. But some people loved it and some people didn't. Okay. Um, Let me see. I love the aesthetic. And again, different reasons, Sarah. You're right. Bridget says you never posted how I made 100K months. Instead, you posted a pineapple, and I was like, oh, that. Also, it took me a while to understand your depth. I see people just making things look luxurious and not delivering. So what it looks like, does she have the depth? Does she have this? Does she have that? This looks too superficial. I don't like these kinds of things. Too much champagne, too much this. But if you keep going, they'll eventually find something else that's true. And that might matter more. So imagine if I say, oh, people don't like me because I'm too luxurious. Let me stop being luxurious. Oh, people don't like me because of the champagne. Let me just not ever show champagne. Oh, people don't like me because of the dark colors. Let them be light. Oh, people don't like me because of this. Let them be this. Instead of just living my life, because organically I stopped drinking as much champagne. There was a moment, every time we hit a milestone, I would drink a bottle of champagne. But it was like that milestone was once a year, twice a year. Then it was like every month. Then I started having $1 million weeks. And then at a point we had $1 million day. And it was like, I think we're gonna have to find a different way to celebrate because I'm not sure how healthy this is. And then on top of that, I was doing champagne celebrations with my clients who hit $1 million. It was like I'm basically half champagne, half coffee at this point. Like we need water. I'm dehydrated. So what I want, oh wait, let me just see this. Uh, uh, can I have a big company and still have my heart in the game? Wow, that made me cry. I guess that's where I was swayed. I started following you back in 2019 and you talked right away. I found you because you were like my coach's coach. That's cool. I got there was something about roses I wanted to see. I don't know where that went. I was told about your white roses, so I stopped buying them because I was told I was copying you and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the other thing." Then all of a sudden I talk about everything I like. Now if you like it, you're copying me. Can we stop that for a minute? Like, how about we're not copying? How about we're celebrating each other? I want to give you something actually before I continue going this direction. I really want you to know if someone says to you at any point, because you've posted something about Alpha Femme, because your aesthetic changes, because of something that you're copying Alpha Femme, don't let that get in your head. Because look, I was inspired by Louis Vuitton, Cartier, Brunello Cucinelli. I was inspired by Gucci and Chanel. I was inspired by the Four Seasons and the Iman. I was inspired by Baccarat and by Picasso and Dior and YSL. And I was inspired by all these brands. And you could say I copied if you want, but what I will tell you is that I honor those brands because they made a difference in my life. You will not sway me to ditch something because I'm afraid of what it makes me look like. I'm proud of what I'm proud of. I'm proud of who I'm proud of. And if what I do reminds you of something that inspires me, then I am proud of that. I say thank you. If someone says, "Oh gosh, you're now part of the Alpha Femme thing. You've changed this," you say, "Actually, I'm just honoring a brand that inspired me to own myself, but thanks for noticing." Don't let it manipulate you because you may not even stay in this phase with me for very long. It may only be a transitional phase until you see something else that you like, and that's perfect. Then they'll say you're all about that. Like, let yourself evolve. Don't let people make you question your choices. That's another way that we just get all lost in our head. Oh, is it this not me? It's like there's a part of me in every one of you. There's a part of you in me. There's a part of me in YSL. There's a part of YSL in me. Like we're just mirroring back what inspires us and what makes us feel alive. So don't feel ashamed. Even if you end up saying words that sound like my words, cool. Sometimes there's just no better way to say it. I literally quote the Bible sometimes. I'm not trying to copy the Bible. It changed my life. It changed my life. I honor the things that changed my life. And if one day I stop talking about them, then I stop talking about them, but that'll be my business and no one else's. Don't let people manipulate you into being anything different. Just own yourself. Own it. If you own it, you can do anything. Yes, you're right. Because I'm inspired by it and I like it and I honor it. It made a difference for me. The end. Oh, you're so bougie now. Yeah, I'm in my bougie phase. Don't know how long it'll last, but I'm really enjoying it. I was in my broke phase a few years ago. You should have known me then. I was lovely. This is my bougie phase. Like, just own yourself. People want to talk. They want to talk. They have nothing else to talk about. They want to talk about you. Let them talk about you, but do not let it change you, or else you just go one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. Okay, so just to keep going on this line. So if you start just saying, "Oh, this is what I need to do. I need a better aesthetic," instead of saying, "I need to be allowed to have my aesthetic," you miss the point. It's not a better aesthetic. It's the truth of your aesthetic. It's finding what's the thing that makes you feel like this is me. That's what we're looking for. This is me. So you're gonna have to test some stuff up, like test stuff out to find out. And you might find that it changes based on different seasons and it changes based on different places where you are. Bougie, it's like fancy or expensive or, you know, yeah, fancy, expensive kind of thing. My aesthetic is choosing my nail color by name. See, my aesthetic is showing them what my brand is and asking them to mix me a color that they end up calling Alpha Femme. This is the thing. Like eventually you become so you, but at first you've got to say, I used to wear bubble bath. That was my color. I used to go and it was bubble bath. That was the color. Until one day I realized I could ask them to mix something for me and we were obsessed. And I said, "Can you call this Alpha Femme?" They were like, "Yes." And that was it. I have my own little thing that's a mix and it's called Alpha Femme and it's mine. And no one can have it unless they know when they know and they don't because I'm unique. I am rare, unique, and limited edition. And you are rare, unique, and limited edition, but this is real freaking close to bubble bath. Bubble bath was my inspiration. Alpha Femme is my trademark. I want you to exist as your own frequency, your own person, your own business, your own brand, inspired by people, supported by people, connected to people, amplified by people, but completely yourself. You don't need to be the best. You get to be one of the greats. That's what I've always wanted. I thought about artists that would go and be at the Oscars all together and be so proud to be in a room with some of their idols and to be like, I belong in this room with people who have done such big things. My career is just starting and they've done years of this, or, even celebrities that have passed. Like I'm walking the same carpet as some of the greatest stars, and now I'm sitting in this room. You don't want to just be the best and everybody else sucks. Like you want to be one of the greats in honor of everyone else. Like we are awesome. And how are we different? I love your vibe. I love your style. I love how you do that. I love this about you. I love that about you. That inspires me. I like that. I love that. More collaboration, more of us amplifying one another instead of it just being, don't take my stuff. Don't worry about that. People have been taking my stuff forever, and my stuff still is my stuff because when the words come out of my mouth, they have a different frequency. And it's not just what I say, it's who I am when I say it. And it's the same thing for you. No matter what you want to do, it's not the fact that it exists or doesn't, it's the fact that when you touch it in your truth, then it's yours. And it's hard to own ourselves because we want people to like us. That's it. But people who? That's what I love the most about the internet. I have found people who really like me, and they live at the other side of the world. They are on different time zones, and they will literally wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to have a conversation with me in my mastermind because they are like, you're my person. And I've been worried about my neighbor that thinks my Louis Vuitton shoes are too over the top. Meanwhile, there's a woman on a yacht in Germany that's deciding to hire me because something. Meanwhile, there's someone watching me in a coffee shop somewhere going, I love her. I love her hat. I love her this. I love her that. I love her story. I love this. It's like, go be you and let the world discover you. You get to be a global brand. Who cares about your town, your neighbors? We are in unlimited potential. Like we can be anything, anything. And so this is a really important piece of the puzzle for us today because you're now going to really be invited to own yourself in two different ways, where I am and where I'm going. So I want you to know that where I am and where I'm going are the two only ways to end up getting where you want to go. Because try putting in a GPS just where you are, not where you're going. See if it'll give you a map. Take a GPS, try putting only where you are going without telling it where you are. See if it'll give you a map. There's no way. You have got to own where you are and where you're going with the same conviction. I am 100% quite certain that this is where I am. I am 100% quite certain that that is where I'm going. Now, what does this mean? Where I am is going to change the minute I start moving. And where I'm going, that could change if I wanted. I just have to redirect along the way. So you've got to decide to plug in to the universal GPS in absolute conviction. This is where I am. This is where I'm going. And when the thoughts creep in, where you are is not far enough. It's like you need a point in the universe. There is no far enough. There's just where you are in the frequency of truth. You got to let go of all of that. You can only build from where you are. That's it. So this is where I am. Own it. This is where my story is right now. And then the next part of it is, where am I going? Where am I going? And if you worry, but what if that's not far enough? You can always reprogram the GPS. What if I change my mind? You can always reprogram the GPS. But if you do not put in a location now, you will not start moving. So you need to tell it where you are and where you're going to get a road. We need the road. Everything happens on the road. You'll figure it out when you get on the road. So what's going to happen now is I'm going to be sending you different group links. There will be a link for 0 to 5K months. There will be a link for 6-figure years, 10K months-ish. There will be a link for like 20, 30, 40K months. And there will be a dot, 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 if that's where you feel like you're feeling. There will be a road, there will be a group for scaling to 6 figures, and there will be a road for 6 figures plus. And your job is to decide which one feels like where you are or really close to where you're going, but that you would totally own yourself in that group. So for some of you, you'll see 0 to 5K and you'll say, that's where I am. So I want to go there. But then you'll see the group that says six figures a year and you'll say, but I want to be there. So maybe I should go there. Ask yourself, where will I own myself the most? Remember what I've shown you right now in this masterclass. We all belong. Just don't put yourself in a room where you're going to play smaller because you're afraid you don't belong. So you've got to feel powerful. Where are you going to feel more powerful? If you're like, well, I haven't done it yet, but I want to, like, I'm not going to give that different of a teaching that it's worth you putting yourself in a room just because maybe I should be there if I want to learn how to make six figures. You don't learn how to make six figures. You grow to six figures. And you know how to grow to six figures? You'll be proud of who you are right now. In a world where everyone thinks that they'll be worthy when they're there, you be worthy when you're here. You crack the matrix. Everyone thinks once I'm there, I'll be allowed. You're like, I'm allowed now. People are like, who are you? It's the wildest thing. Everyone thinks once I have that, I'll be this. You say, I'm this. So if you're at 0 to 5K, then come into 0 to 5K. Even if you wish you were making six figures, don't wish you were making six figures. If you want to do it, you'll end up doing it. No question. Just own yourself in 0 to 5K. If you're really like, no, I've done 5K. I really am on the road to six figures. That's where I need to be. Perfect. 30, 40, like 20, 30, 40. If you're like, yeah, but I'm at 50. Should I be in this one? Should I be at scaling to 1 million? Well, are you scaling to 1 million? I mean, 1 million feels like very big. So if you're making 50,000, wouldn't you be better in 20, 30, 40? Yeah, that's actually where I want to be. Perfect. Or be like, no, 20, 30, 40 doesn't even feel like me. I need to be in the six figures. That's where all my life is about. Then you go there. But here's my command. Do not put yourself in a room because you think you will become that room. Choose the room that makes you be the most you. That's how you're going to get the most out of this, what's coming next. We're going to have one more training, all of us together on Monday, and then the rooms will split. Once you get into the room, you're going to see what your call time is. We've got calls that are coming out next week, and you'll see what your call time is for your specific group, and there'll be different things that are going to be posted for you in the group that you're in. I have no question whether you can build something big. The question is, are you going to be blinded by the power you already have access to because you think you should be more, which is what the whole world does? Or are you going to use the raw material of who you are, tap into your potential, and build it one milestone at a time? Because to make six figures, you have to make 1,000 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You have got to make all those thousands all the way. So you don't just go pink. You have to go through all of it anyway. I want to help you love your journey because that's what's going to make people want to be led by you the most. That you are proud of where you are and you know where you're going. And if you needed to pivot, you would, and that doesn't scare you. That's the leadership people need. And it doesn't even matter what your business is. I help people that are in the pharmaceutical industry, in the medical field, lawyers, doctors, dentists, entrepreneurs, network marketers, people who are in the beauty industry, the fashion industry, the music industry, the movie industry, writers, producers, developers, investors. It doesn't matter. It's the same. And I think that's teachers, principals, scientists, like journalists, there is no limit. And I will say, if there is someone, and it's okay if you're finding it hard to choose because there's no hurry. We still have one group call left. And you might take the weekend and think about it. But what I want from you is that you own yourself because I'm going to be asking you questions and I'm going to want you to show up so unapologetically. And there can be no masks because we need the frequency of truth. What I want you to imagine, and you can maybe muscle test about this actually. If you have someone near you that you can muscle test for you, stick your arm out in front of you and say, should I be in the 5 to 10K or 0 to 5K group? And then have someone push on your arm. Say out loud, I belong in the 0 to 5K group. Have someone push on your arm. I belong in the 100K months group. Have someone push on your arm. It's wild. The truth will make your arm go down less. Go in that one. It's the one you actually believe. I want to unleash your power, like unlock it, activate it so that you can start being who you are now. And then the sky isn't even the limit. People wishing to be more is not the same as people becoming more. Everyone is wishing to become more. It's a waste of life. You could just be doing it. and loving the process as you go. I love every version of me that I've been, every single version. If you were to say, Melanie, you've got to do it all again, I'd say go. Would you skip any part? No. From the moment I started creating myself purposely, I would even go back to the car. I wouldn't go back before the car when I didn't know myself, but I would go back to the car. I would go back to no food, no access to nothing, sleeping in the front seat of a car in the dead of winter. I would go back to the bankruptcy, no questions asked, because I love who I became in this work. And I stand by myself and I'm proud of myself. And I'm so, so, so clear that I learned every step of the way and that there was a purpose to all of it. I have codes for all of us because of that. And I was meant to. I'm supposed to bridge people. I know that. I'm supposed to show equal potential to power. There is no hierarchy. We're all made of the same stardust and we're born in the same time. We have access to the same things. Let's figure out what we need to do in order to activate that potential so that we can go build what we were supposed to build. But we can all do it. I know that. I have no doubt. The girl that built this, I still can't believe built this. She blows my mind. I want to make her proud. I hope I do more with what she built for me than what she built for me. That's why I continue doing it, because I think she built me and I was meant to build the world. Like Melanie Layer built Melanie and Layer. I wouldn't even own my middle name back then. Melanie Layer built Lenny. Like I became me because of her. What am I going to build now? Because of that, thanks to her. What do I do now in honor? You need to build yourself first. And then once you've created yourself into the person you were supposed to be, you'll know what you're meant to build. But first, we've got to build you until you're so clear of who you are that you feel like you could build anything. Some of you are already there. Some of you are remembering it. Some of you are about to realize it. But we all need to wake up for this world to change. And I'm not taking this opportunity to speak to you lightly. So I want you to have the best weekend. I'm still inviting you to go out there and to like find a location, a business that you can amplify with your influence. No matter how little followers you have, it doesn't even matter, but you're just going to find a business, really feel in your heart like these people made it, whether it's a flower shop, a coffee shop, a gym, whether it's a tanning salon, whether it's a store, someone that makes their own clothes, whatever it is, where you're like, that person went out on a limb and they built their business, and you're going to honor them for the entrepreneur that they are and shine a light on what you see that they did. And in that moment, you'll understand the power of amplification and that you do not need to have 1 million followers to make someone feel like they matter. You do not need 1 million followers in order to amplify a person. So what if that person's you? If you can do it for a business, then you can do it for your business. And then the world starts to grow. If you want to start having fun, posting, and getting to know your own identity, just notice if there's any part of you that's like, will they like it? Will they get it? Who? Will people like me get it? Yes. Aren't those the best people for us to have anyway? People that have at least a piece of them that connects with you, really? Because the fact is, I'm a little bit silly, and I'm a little bit quirky, and I'm a little bit goofy, and I'm a little bit brave, and a little bit bold, and a little bit nuts, and a little bit bougie. And I'm a little bit genius, and a little bit stardust, and a little bit channel, and a little bit. And so you'll like a little bit of what I am, and you'll not like little bits of who I am, and that's human. And some of you will like me for different reasons. And some of you will like each other for different reasons. And that is what being a human is. So build your real platform because of who you are and let people find what they like about you on their own without you trying to control the universe, because that's exhausting and it will not pay you. When you honor the person you are, you open up the God zone. Because when you love the human you were given, the human you were given unlocks unlimited access. This is what I really believe. When I hated the human I was, Mother Nature, God, the universe said, if you can't even be grateful for the life you have, why would I give you more? As soon as I started saying, thank you for making me me, I see the beauty in it now. The God zone opened. And in the God zone, God cuts the paychecks. And it's a really good business. So I invite you to just open up yourself, Realize you're here for a reason. There's something that you're meant to do on this planet, but you're going to need to love yourself pretty freaking hard in order to open the keys, open the world. I said this on my House of Vote last night. This will be my closing statement for today. I think that the stories like Aladdin and the sword in the stone, sword in the stone were not just metaphors. I think that they're holy grail keys to the way the world works. You don't just get the magic or take the magic. You don't just decide that you want the money and the fame and the fortune and just get it. The cave of wonders opens for the pure heart. The sword and the stone comes out for the pure heart. You do it for vanity, you do it for validation, you do it for all the wrong reasons, and the sword stays in the stone, and the cave of wonders eats you up whole or never opens at all. You are the cave of wonders. You have unlimited treasure in your soul, and you have access to the God zone where there's treasures beyond the treasures you'll ever know. But they open for your pure heart. They open for your gratitude for being alive. They open for the honor that you have of being you, the only you there's ever been, that there ever will be. And you say, let's go find out why I was made. Let's go find out what I have access to and who I'm meant to inspire and what I'm meant to do by being myself. Let me just become the purest heart of me, and let's see what opens up for me in this world. Not because I need it or I want it or because it'll make me more powerful or people will love me or people will. The Cave of Wonders isn't open for that. It opens for Aladdin. The sword and the stone doesn't get pulled out for anyone except the one who's going to do right with the sword. So remember who you are and enjoy this weekend. Let me know what comes up for you. Share in the class. If you do go shopping and you want to amplify businesses, amplify them. Own your role. You are so much more important than you let yourself believe, no matter how important you've let yourself believe. There's more. And as I say this to you, I take it for me. I am more important than I've let myself believe as well. I'm just getting started. You're just getting started. We have a world to build. So let's go do that. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thank you for everything. I'll see you soon.